This is our design, and it's freaky as heck. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest Hannibal moments.
She wasn't suicidal, Jack. She was sick. I was here. I spoke to her.
For this list, we're looking at the most unnerving scenes from the hit NBC series Hannibal. We'll also be serving up some spoilers. Bon appetit.
Then it's not Hobbs' ghost that's haunting you, is it? It's the inevitability of there being a man so bad that killing him felt good.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. Head Saw. In both the 1999 novel and the 2001 film, Hannibal Lecter cuts open Deputy Assistant Attorney General Paul Krendler's skull with a bone saw and feeds him his own brain.
But I assure you the next course is to die for.
Will Graham almost suffers the same fate when, following a brief reconciliation, he finds himself at the wrong end of the dinner table.
I don't indulge much in regret, but I am sorry to be leaving Italy.
After incapacitating would-be rescuer Jack, Hannibal proceeds with dinner preparations and starts to saw Will's skull open. It is a shocking moment even for the most seasoned viewer, and Jack's horrified screams say it all. Number 9. Mushroom Garden. When a couple of kids discover multiple bodies in the woods, the FBI is called in to investigate the strange burial site.
Wanted to keep his crop undisturbed. The only thing missing is the scarecrow.
Will digs deeper and reveals that each victim was buried alive, kept in a catatonic state as a means to fertilize the killer's mushroom garden. The thought alone is the stuff of nightmares, but when one of the victims, horribly disfigured by her treatment, is discovered to be very much alive, the horror amps up to 11.
She's alive!
We're thinking this killer wouldn't be a very fun guy to hang out with. Moving on.
You should have let me plant her. You would have found her in a field where she was finally able to reach back.
Number 8. Will and Hannibal fight Dolarhyde.
He's not going to kill us here. What he wants to do requires something a little more private.
During an elaborate plan to capture Francis Dolarhyde by using Hannibal as bait, Will and the not-so-good doctor escape to Hannibal's cabin. Hannibal is shot by a watchful Dolarhyde and begins to bleed out. At first, it seems uncertain how Will will react. Enjoy the death or help?
I'm gonna film your death, Dr. Lecter.
Throwing his lot in with Hannibal at last, Will pulls a knife. But in short order, he's stabbed in the face. A fight to the death ensues, with Hannibal joining the fray. Every man takes serious hits during the bloody conflict, keeping the audience on their toes in this stunning and intense conclusion to the series. Number 7. The Angels. In an unforgettable Season 1 episode, Will and Jack are on the trail of a serial killer who transforms people he thinks are demons into angels instead.
I'm gonna need you to prepare yourself on this one.
I'm prepared.
Yeah, prepare yourself some more. It's soup in there.
Soup isn't good for the soul.
Not this kind.
This transformation is achieved by posing the victims in post-mortem prayer and giving them wings, but not the feathery kind. Each new scene, stark, uncomfortably visceral, and with little build-up, gives the audience something new to deposit in their bank of recurring nightmares.
What appears to be driving your angel maker to create heaven on earth is a simple issue of mortality.
Can't beat God, become him.
It's one of the series' most terrifying and haunting crime scene tableaus.
It's getting harder and harder to make myself look.
Number 6. The Man in the Cage. Hannibal is such a sophisticated, charming anti-hero, it's sometimes easy to forget just how twisted and insane he is.
This room holds sound and motion. Great snakes wrestling and heaving in the dark.
While he likes to make art of his kills, and the culinary results are satisfyingly tongue-in-cheek, his pathology is so dark.
You have a very good butcher.
I do indeed. The lamb must be newly slaughtered. The organs cooked the same day. I always oversee this process personally.
While investigating the damp cellars of Castle Lecter, Will discovers an emaciated man in rags pleading for help and to be seen. He's kept there, alone, not afforded a look or word from another human. His punishment for having allegedly eaten Hannibal's sister Misha.
What did he do?
He ate her.
Misha.
It's a slow, torturous penalty, and a truly chilling scene, one that Will cannot live with. Ultimately, though, his intervention doesn't save the man. Number 5. Red Dinner. It was a bold move to begin Season 2 by showing the climactic final scene. In the prologue to this season, we see Hannibal preparing a meal with Jack Crawford observing. But the two are not the friends we knew them to be at the conclusion of season 1, and in short order, they're trying to kill one another. It's intense, incredibly choreographed, breathless action. When Jack's throat is slit and he becomes trapped in the wine closet with Hannibal breaking down the door, the scene ends. It takes until the end of the season before the results are revealed. Now that's suspense. Not your typical scary, but it leaves you breathless all the same.
Where's Jack?
In the pantry.
Number 4, Bloody Smile. This cold open feels like the setup to an urban legend. A woman alone in her home investigates a drip in her attic, only to discover back in her bedroom that something is under her bed. Later, Will, unaware that he's losing time, discovers the body when he believes he's flaying a fish, but is instead opening up the victim's face into a bloody grin. A similar fate befalls the doctor Will later consults for his deteriorating mental state, at the hands of Dr. Lecter. Both scenes are sure to leave you not with a smile, but with a wince.
How far does this go? Do you put out the fire? Or do you let him burn?
Number 3, Mason feeds Will's dogs. After saving Hannibal from Mason Verger and his thugs, Will returns home to find Mason feeding something to his dogs.
How is that? Is that good?
Hannibal has drugged Mason, who's completely out of his mind. In fact, it's not a pocket full of milk bones Mason's got. He's cutting off pieces of his own face. He even has a bite, declaring that he's full of himself.
Pity has no place at the table.
I'm full of myself.
Mason is perhaps the most despicable villain of the series, but there is very little audience schadenfreude here. It's a shocking, bloody, and difficult to watch scene.
He's your patient, Doctor. You do what you think is best for him.
Number 2, Dolarhyde hunts Will's family. In the second half of season 3, audiences are introduced to the final antagonist of the series, Francis Dolarhyde, also known as the Red Dragon. Will, now married, semi-retired from the bureau, and trying to start his life over again, has been put on the case. After Hannibal finds a way to communicate Will's home address to the Red Dragon, the disturbed killer goes after Will's family.
Wait for me by the car. Count to 100. If you see anyone else but me, run for the road.
In a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, Molly must get her son to safety while outmaneuvering a seasoned and ruthless killer. It is edge-of-your-seat suspense that never once feels safe.
This crazy guy wants to kill you?
No. Well, we don't know what he wants.
Freaked out yet? I know I am. Even the honorable mentions are terrifying, so I cannot even tell you how scary number 1 is. So let's look through those honorable mentions, and then we'll make you sit through the scariest Hannibal moment. Gideon eats himself. The rude end up on the menu, and Abel Gideon has disrespected the real Chesapeake Ripper.
How does one politely refuse a dish in circumstances such as these?
One doesn't.
The death of Patsy. Spill your guts about Hannibal and, well...
Come in that order. Which do you think? Bowels in or bowels out?
Fire tube. Oxygen and sparks make for a horrifying mix. Beverly Katz. A horrifying end to a beloved character.
Send someone else, Jack. She's one of yours.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Human Mural.
You have nice skin.
While Will is locked up at the start of season 2, the insane killers of the greater DC Baltimore area are as active as ever.
He's not stringing his victims up, he's stitching them together. Each body is a brushstroke. He's making a human mural.
Teased at the close of the season 2 premiere, we get an eyeful of the human mural in the following episode. A man wakes up from a death-like sleep to find his limbs stitched together and to the bodies of dozens of other people, his skin covered in a hard varnish, gluing him in place. He rips himself free and tries to escape the twisted tableau in the abandoned silo. Nightmarish and relentless, it's a scene no viewer will soon forget.
If God is looking down at you, don't you want to be looking back at him?
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.